If you're here, there is a good chance that you are fed up in your job and you are ready to quit today and go look for another one. But before you do that, I have a very important question I want to ask you. Now, here's the question that was asked to me that completely changed my life. If money weren't an issue and you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do with your life? I want you to let that sink in for just a minute. Would you start your own business? Would you travel more? Would you start writing that book you've always wanted to write? You see, the truth is, people don't often stop and actually think about what they want. Especially in this society right now, we are just expected to do the daily grind where you get up, you go to work, and you do the same thing over and over again for 20, 30, 40 plus years, hoping that it's going to pay off. And when you finally retire, if you're blessed at the age of 65 to retire, that doesn't leave a whole lot of time to actually pursue the things that you want to pursue in your life. You see, for most people, including myself at a point in my life, I was very financially driven. I was trying to work my way up to the top, make as much money as I could because I thought that was going to be the end all be all of my happiness. And the truth of the matter was I was completely miserable. And maybe you feel the same way. You might be in a very high paying job right now that you would hope would bring fulfillment. But the truth is you're working so many hours that you're really neglecting those people that you love most or those activities that you want to do because you're letting your life get ahead of you. Because you're putting all that time into a company that will replace you just like that. But guess what? Today is a new day and you get to write a new chapter in your life. But before you do that, you've got to be honest with yourself about what it is that you truly want in your life. So here's what I'd like you to do is pull out a piece of paper and a pen or open up that notes app because I do have a couple more questions I want to ask you that gets the wheels going in your mind when you really start to think about what it is that you would want to do. So question number 1, I want to ask you, what would my days look like if I was excited to wake up every single morning? Question 2, what have I always wanted to do, but always talked myself out of? Question 3, what kind of person do I want to be in the next chapter of my life? Question 4, what is it that makes me feel really alive? And question number 5 here, if I only had 1 year to live, what would I regret not doing? Out of all those questions, the one that really hits home for me was the last one around what would I regret not doing if I only had a year to live? And that's something that really has always been in the back of my mind, especially more recently, because I realized that working for someone else's dream was just not meant for me. I knew that I was intended for more and God had a different purpose for me to be able to help people like you who are watching this, who are just not sure what you want to do in the next phase, but you know that the cube that you're going to or that retail life or the job that you may have spent years in college doing and you've invested a lot of time in, maybe it's not for you anymore. And you really want to change what this next chapter is. And you really want to do something different. You just don't know how. And that's where God had me pull this purpose that as I'm walking the walk, I'm talking the talk at the same time to be able to help you. Now, you don't have to have this all figured out today. You do have time to think about it, but I want you to ask yourself these questions first before you start looking for another job at another company, because I know how companies are. There's so many places that are hiring and they're going to give you these enticing deals like these sign-on bonuses and these benefits packages, and that they claim that the culture is amazing. And then you apply for the job, you get the job, you work there for a little while, and then you realize it's the same thing over and over again. It's the perfect definition of insanity. And that's why I really want you to be honest with yourself first and foremost, because there's more to life than that, than just job hopping from place to place, hoping to find what it is that you can actually find internally with what it is that you want to do. What matters now is the next chapter that you write. If money weren't an issue and you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? Once you have the answer to this question figured out, I want you to write it on a sticky note and I want you to speak it out into the universe, because I am a firm believer that what you put out there will come back to you full circle. Now, if you're feeling a little excited and probably a little scared, that means that you're on the right path, and keep following that. It's meant to be uncomfortable for a reason. I don't want you thinking about any of those fears or anything that's going to hold you back right now. I just want you leaning into what the possibilities of your life could be. Because as I always like to say, when you love who you are and you love what you do, you light up the world and you get to live a life that you deserve. You've got this. I'll see you in my next video. Take care.